Alright, we're back working on this 2013 Kia Soul. We're going to be replacing this steering coupler. I've got this steering clunk noise in here. I'll show you that in a second. Yeah, I've done one of these on my Hyundai Sonata. And now unfortunately I've had this entire dash out of here doing a heater core, but it was not making any noise then. I'll leave a link to that in case you want to know how to take the dash out and maybe remove the whole entire steering column. It's not that much more steps to take to do that. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get started here. Now you can find these anywhere. They're probably all about as good as the other, but I was either going to go with this or Dorman. Okay, now you'll notice that it doesn't make any racket until you get this thing cranked up. Okay, first thing we're going to do, I've got it cranked up and running again here. We're going to turn the steering wheel. Go ahead and get this Phillips screw. Okay, now we're just going to get the Phillips on the panel below the steering column here. Okay, one thing I didn't mention, because I already had this loose because it was loose from before. It was easier for me to get to. There are these clips that you got to squeeze into. It's real simple, and then you just push your OB port connector out of that panel. Okay, so I just stuck it back in there so I can show you, but you're just going to push that with my finger. Pushes right out, no problem. This top piece will stay. It's clipped to your odometer bezel here. We got 3 10mm on this brace right here. This part of the metal has a hook. Hooks into that. Okay, a tip, get yourself a box or many boxes and just put the screws and everything with your pieces as you bring them out so you're not losing anything. We're going to unclip this back here before we take this loose. Okay, so if you can see this clip here, I come up above it with my pick tool and work that clip loose. It's on a little metal tab there. If you don't, it's likely to bend that. So with that clip off, this should come off here pretty easy. I'll unclip this. Just come from the back side. You can usually push them out. We're going to just take the connectors out of this box and remove this, because the best I remember, it gets in the way of getting to a bolt. So we just got these connectors over here. Just push up on that. Push up right down here. On the other side, got a blue safety lock. If it flies off, that's fine. Okay, you can see we've got a couple of 12s right here, and this is just on a bracket holding this little box. We're going to get both of these out. There's one. Okay, we just take that out of the way. Okay, now this connector, we're going to push our little trim tool in here, maybe. To get a hold of those little clips. It's just a matter of getting in here with it just right. Okay, then we got to get on the other side. Okay, and I like to do this because if not, you break your clips and you're going to be zip tying a whole lot going back. Okay, this you don't have to remove, but it's going to allow me to get in here and film this better. And there's just an 8mm that's holding this, so we're going to take that out. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Okay, next thing we're going to do, I'm going to be going in here with a 14. I've got a little bit of an extension. This bolt is going to be tight, and you can kind of feel it just by feeling around here and find this thing. But see, I'm on it right there, and I'm going to show you exactly where we're at here. Okay, so I think you can see the bolt there. And we're going to just get So this one's going to be tight. You're going to have to use an extended ratchet. The 12s up there are going to be snug too. But this is the first one that you want to kind of get at. It's a more difficult one, and when you put it back, this is the first one that we want to kind of get that. You see this, you can see this right here. There's a slot that this portion goes into, and that kind of holds it there temporarily till you slide the front in, and then kind of get your bolt in. Of course, you'll get the front bolt to kind of hold it slightly, but if you don't get that end of that slot there, you're going to have to redo it. So I've got it loose. We got to take this bolt completely out. Alright, so there's that. Okay, so here's our 12 millimeters. Got one there over on this side, and we got one right here. And I'm going to start with this one, get it completely off, and we'll leave the one and we'll start taking it out. We'll get a hand on it. 12 millimeter, 6-inch extension here. Alright, so I'll have to get a hand on it as I lower this one, or it's just going to fall. Okay, I was just making sure there wasn't no more wires connected there. You don't want to damage any wires, and it just kind of just fell on down here. This steering wheel's kind of telescopic, and you can push it in a little bit. You can see how it fits in here easily. Just drops right down there. And I mean, it's not but one more step to take this completely out. If you wanted to do that, you just have to take the bolt out down there, and you can pull it out and take it to a bench and do whatever you want to with it. But we can get to everything right here. Okay, so I've got a T30 Torx. I've just set it up here so I can show you. I thought it'd be as good of a spot as any. You just got 3 T30s there. These, the darker colored ones. Now we still got some wires around the back side of this thing. I'm just trying to dig some of this out of here. Now it seems to me, I don't know, but it seems like whatever this original coupler was made out of got hot, and it's almost like it's just turning, you know, to a liquid. It's melted and just it's just gone. There's not even any debris. It's just kind of like melted or something. So I'm gonna try to clean it up the best I can. Maybe I'll get a wire brush. Right, so I took a flat screwdriver. This stuff is kind of like tar. And it doesn't matter which way this goes in. Cleaned up the other side, same way. So we got that. We're just going to set this back on here. Probably no way of mixing it up, but I'll put the mark anyway. Now if you were to torque these, probably about 80 inch-pounds, but don't get them too tight and strip them. It's the main thing. Now I know this is not going to be as bad as that Sonata because that thing was heavy. See this? That's that little piece I was telling you about. And that's got to set right in there. And that bolt, of course, comes through here. So it's got like a little square nut in there. But that is what we got to get it set in. And then that kind of helps to hold it. But if we don't get that in there, then it's not going to go up into place, period. We're not going to get that bolt in. So that's the first thing we want to do. And then we'll kind of set it on these. Get your 12mm nuts handy. All right, so you see where we're going there. Let me see how much luck I can have with this thing. Not much so far. Now this lower end down here is telescopic too, so you have to get, wow, this thing's been difficult. Well, pretty much had to get down on my side there to kind of push it up into place, kind of like I had to do with the Sonata. I'm fixing to try to line it up with the studs here. Okay, it's very hard to show you this without getting in the way, but like I said, this moves in and out. Now the key is that you get it set on back there. It'd almost be better to have another person if you held it back here so it goes into that slot, and then you can, like this is telescopic too, so you move this out, get at least one nut on there. Then it's being held, so then you can go back here and work on this. So that's the only real trick to it, but you gotta be careful, you know, because it's not being held in the back, and if you go to yanking on it too much, it could come back out there and fall down. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this side here on loosely while I'm at it. Okay, so we're back in here again. We're going to have to get this lined up. We may have to move it around and do what we need to do because it ain't lined up so far. Oop. Alright, so I had to pick up on it and tilt it a little bit to get it to do what I wanted it to. Now I'm just going to snug it up. I realized another one of my problems is I had my camera right in the way as much as I could possibly get it. So did put Loctite on this one. And I'm not going to be torquing this. If I were, I would go about 35 foot-pounds on this one. So I'm just going to snug it up. And we'll just finish tightening these. Said on these I probably wouldn't go but about 10 to 15 on both of these. Said you can break this right here if you overdo it. Alright, the next piece I'm going to get on is this little computer with the two 12 millimeters. I didn't have that set on there right at first. I had the bolt going through the wrong hole. But we got it. Right, feels nice. Alright, so that's going to do it for the video. I probably spent a couple hours. That's recording and everything, not really getting in a big hurry. But, you know, these little parts, I say they're not very much, you know, 10 bucks or less for one of these little couplings. Now, this vehicle, you know, it says a 2013, but it's only got 140,000 miles on it. And so the only difficult part that you will have will be putting it back. It was the same way with the Sonata, and that one was even heavier. But it's like, you know, it's kind of hard to film while you're laying on your back and trying, because you really need to kind of be down there and pushing it up, you know, so you can get the leverage you need. And you just basically push it up into that slot, and then you're able to kind of climb out holding it with one hand, and you know, pull it out, the telescopic part, and get one of your 12mm nuts on there. That's the hardest part you're going to have. Instead, if you had a couple people, it'd probably be even a lot easier. But anyways, that's going to do it for the video. I hope that you found it helpful, and did a good job of, you know, showing the detail and everything. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. As always, I invite you to subscribe, and thanks for watching.